Hello guys and gals, this is the second episode of Cartoon Theory. Today I'll be explaining the EDDY Purgatory theory. And if you guys want to skip the intro to the show, because for some people who watch this may not know what happened in the show, you can skip to the time. I'll put it up right here. Now get out of here. Okay, so the basis of the show is pretty much on three kids named Ed, and Eddie. And they live in a cul-de-sac, and I think the cul-de-sac's name is Peach Creek. I swear to God, I think that's it, because it's mentioned a lot in the theory, and I really can't remember the show that much. And basically, what happens in each episode is Ed and Eddie pull off scams on the kids, and each kid reacts differently. They all get mad and shit. That's pretty much the basis of the show. Okay, so the theory is explains itself. Basically, it's the Purgatory theory. So basically, the theory states, what if the whole show, Ed and Eddie, was just a mere purgatory occurrence? For those who do not know, purgatory is a place or state of suffering inhabited by the souls of sinners who are expiating their sins before going to heaven. So expiating basically means like covering their debt, like somewhat to that, like paying off their debt. So pretty much, if you did bad things before you died, like you sinned, you have to wait until you paid off your sins. So that is what the theory is based off of. Okay, so the theory even goes as far to state the specific time zones or like in the eras of which each kid died. The first one to die was Ralph. Then it was Johnny. Then Eddie died. Then Ed and Sarah, Naz, Ed Double D, Kevin, and then Jimmy. So that was the order in which they died, which is very important because the time zones gives them their dynamic traits. For example, Ralph, who is supposed to have died in 1903 in the theory, he died when he got stampeded by a bunch of animals at his farm.
It's a stampede!
And then it goes to Johnny, and Johnny is supposed to be like a lonely kid with tuberculosis who drew a face on a plank and dubbed it Plank. And it being his best friend, he kept it with him all the time. And in 1922, the first thing he saw when he died, or the last thing he saw when he died, was Plank. Thus, he took it in the afterlife with him, and that's why he has Plank all the time. Okay, and then Eddie was the next to die in 1939, I believe. And I like Eddie's death because like it really explains his, like, it shows his greediness in the show. So him, when he comes to Peach Creek, he comes during the Great Depression, and his character in real life before he died, air quotations, pulled off scams, but an angry herd of kids chased him to a lake where he drowned. Oops. So the Great Depression was actually like a huge factor in his personality due to him scamming off money of kids, and it explains why he always plays off scams on all the kids in the Purgatory. So Ed and Sarah's backstory to this theory in a nutshell is basically their father dies in World War II. Trying to compensate with the death, Sarah becomes very bossy due to her trying to fill the role of the mother. Trying to fill the role of the mother since her mother stopped caring after her dad died. So, yeah, it's pretty believable. And Ed trying to compensate with death, he stuck to a life of reading comic books and watching TV, which is, pretty much makes sense. Like that could be why they act like that in the show. Ed is so like carefree, and Sarah's all bossy. And I think that a better factor would be if Sarah got her personality from like the women's rights movements happening at the time, but okay, whoever created this theory. Then Naz's death happens in the 1960s, or 1980s, sorry. It's really this death is like, backstory to this death is really fucking like creeping me the fuck out, dude. Like so weird. So she was born to hippie parents, and her backstory is that one night an escaped serial killer raped and murdered her along with her family. Gross. Anyways, this is said to explain why she is not shown working around the house like the other children. Like, why did this theorist, the person who made this theory, have to be so gruesome? Ugh, so weird. Then Double D is died in 1989 according to theory. He was born around the technology advancements and was raised by very strict and controlling parents who pushed him around to succeed academically, which explains his nerdiness in the show. You can see where this is going. He dies as a result to one of his experiments exploding due to a gas leak. And then Kevin is the second to last to die in 1999, my birth year. The theory goes on to state that he would act out his broken home frustration on other children in the cul-de-sac, which made him develop a bully-ish type. And the theory even goes on to say that his father brutally killed him. Oh my god, what the fuck. So weird. And then in the afterlife, he reimagined his family as a perfect family that showered him with gifts, as you can see in the show. And then Jimmy was last one to die due to leukemia, which struggled with for years, and he is said to have been socially awkward, which explains his weirdness in the show and why he only talks to Sarah. You know, I think it would have been better if, like... Nah, never mind, I can't say that. Anyways, finally, the last characters in the show are the Kinkers. Now, a lot of people speculate this, according to theory, that they could have died too, but I think it's better that they were like demons, like guardians, of the purgatory of the cul-de-sac, the purgatory cul-de-sac, and that's why they always keep everyone from leaving the cul-de-sac. If you ever noticed that in the show, you know, like I remember one episode they're going camping, and Ed and Eddie, they get really close to the edge, like it kind of seems like the edge of the cul-de-sac, and the Kinkers are there. Like, why are the Kinkers there? You know, like, so weird. And I thought it was really weird. You know, so the last episode, for those who watched it, know what I'm talking about. The last episode actually, you know, gives light on this theory, in my opinion. The last episode, all the kids chased out the Ed boys on a wild chase to Eddie's big brother's house. Eddie's trying to get his big brother to beat everybody up, basically. And the Kinkers, being the guardians, can't let them leave, so they follow them as their purgatory debt comes to an end. I always thought it was kind of weird at the end of the show was like this weird scene where like all the kids are like accepting the Ed boys for them, and you know, it's really weird because like all the kids seem really happy, like their debt is paid off, like they're in the purgatory is done. And the last scene, I think it's like them just leaving into like the sunlight, which is like could be a reference to like heaven in a way. So I think the last episode really shed light on this, made it more believable in my opinion. So yeah. Whew. So is it believable? In my opinion, yes. Fuck yes it is, because of the amount of thought that went into it. Holy shit, I gotta give the guy who made this credibility. If I find his name, I'll put it up right now. And the fact that it pieces together the abstract personalities of the cul-de-sac was really great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode on the theory of Ed and Eddie. My next theory was recommended by one of you guys. Shout out to Jay Nicolosai. The theory will be on the anime Death Note, so hopefully you guys look forward to that. Until then, show me some love by clicking that subscribe button. Feel free to fill my comments with anything, even hate, as I will only respond to the comments I like. Subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you next time.